Hey everybody, I'm Clint Prentice here with Ryan McGinley,
I'm Ryan McGinley. That's
and
me.
and we're doing a crash test on Transistor, the newest game from Supergiant Games, who made
Creators
Bastion.
of Bastion.
Yes. So this is the thing that I was telling you right before we started. I am using a PS4 controller on the PC version of the game.
Okay.
As you can see, there are PS4 prompts.
Huh.
I don't know how that's happened because it worked right for like the first half of me playing the game. I stopped, turned it back on. It was Xbox 360 prompts, and now it's back to being Sony prompts. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, you were telling me before we started recording that the PC version seems a little buggy-ish,
The
but not in
PC,
a big way.
yeah, this doesn't seem to be indicative of the PS4 version, and the things that happen on the PS or the PC version are not enough to hinder what is, I think, a very good game.
Okay, well, let's talk about the game a little bit.
Okay,
Who
there's a
who are you?
back.
So
What?
let me pause that real quick. So you play as Red, and she is on a revenge path because somebody there was a murder attempt on her.
Oh,
And what I'm doing right now is part of the combat. So I'm just gonna get out of here. See the sword that I have?
yes.
That is the Transistor, the
Okay.
titular Transistor. And what I'm doing right now, this is what's called loading a turn. I'm gonna actually turn down this audio just a little bit.
So yeah, the much like Bastion, you could play the game in real time with like you could see a little hotbar of your skills down on the bottom. But if I understand correctly, the mode you're in now is like a turn-based almost kind of enabling thing.
Sort of. It's more like it's bringing more of a strategy element to it. So, as you can see up on the top, while I'm doing things, it's loading in move sets. And so I have a specific amount of abilities that I can do within this time, and by pressing the left trigger or L2 button, I can redo moves. So I can take away that crash, or and so you want to like line up things that are going to get you the best possible outcomes. So there's a whole bunch of different skills to go through. I thought that I had beat this guy, but apparently when I reloaded this save, this was the checkpoint that it chose. So let me just go through and beat this guy. This is like the first sort of boss in the game.
Okay. So about how far, like time-wise, would you say we're into the game?
This is about 15-20 minutes.
Oh wow. Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah. And we're going to be playing just a little bit. So right now, you see this move that I've got, my triangle move, it's what's called a jaunt, which means I can get around a place faster. And you see how much time it takes up on the bar. If I was to walk there, that takes a lot more time. So you want to...
Do you only get like one jaunt per freeze?
Oh no, you can do as many as it takes to fill up this bar.
Oh, okay.
So that's the cool thing about like what this combat system can do. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start chaining together attacks on this jerk. So I want to do a crash first, and that's my like main attack. And I'll get into more of how this stuff works later, which then opens them up to vulnerabilities, and then I'll just dump some crap in there. So so that guy, well, I'll do it whenever there's less clutter on the screen. So I can use all of my moves in real time, but as you can see, it's not very effective, and I'm getting hurt pretty badly. So I just want to do that. And so while I'm here, let me go ahead and talk about this stuff. Where you see like Jerk 2.0, Crash 75, Backstab, Breach 225, Backstash plus combo, that's saying what the move is, how much damage it's doing, and whether or not it's a part of a combo or it's getting any kind of buff because of your position. And a backstab is a good way to get a little bit extra damage.
Okay.
And the reason why it tells you overkill is because you don't want to you don't want to waste turns whenever you could just kill something.
So overkill is kind of an indication of, hey, you could do this a lot, like with less turns.
Yeah. So I'll actually do that here. So you saw that guy died and then respawned. He formed a cell and then respawned after 10 seconds. So you see, like, hey, overkill, man. You don't need to do negative 125 damage. But if you do, like, she'll just continue to attack afterwards. So these cells, you've got to suck them in order to really kill the person, kill the enemy.
Okay.
So is this whole block.
So that voice actor right there, that is the Transistor, the sword, and that's also the voice actor who was the narrator in Bastion.
Correct, Logan Cunningham.
Yeah, he's really good at what he does.
Yes, he is very good in this.
Does he take kind of the same role? Because in Bastion, like, when you would do something, when you would, like, switch weapons or something like that, and I don't think there's much weapon switching going on here, but, like, the narrator would react to exactly, like, what you're doing at that point in time. So is there any element of that, or does it feel more of, like, a linear kind of script?
He's more involved. Like, the narrator of Bastion was telling the story. This guy is a participant in the story.
Okay.
And so he feels more involved, and it feels like Red, the woman, has more agency, and he'll react. He'll be like, whoa, okay, let's do that. And we'll actually see that in just a second here. So this access point is how you control all of your attacks. So the hotbar down at the bottom allows you for 4 attacks. Okay?
Okay.
I can put any attack in any slot. So I want to put my crash here. That's my normal attack. And you can see here, active slot effect, harm and disrupt nearby targets, exposing vulnerabilities. Upgrade slot effect causes most function to stun and disrupt targets. So since I have that as my active slot, that means that's the attack that it's going to be. But if I wanted to add one of these to upgrade it, I can slip it into this slot here, and it would do Crash plus Spark, which is the one that I selected, and that creates 3 projectiles but reduces the damage by 50%. So effectively, you're doing 150 damage, but it negates itself to 75.
Okay, but then will that take up more time on that, like, kind of freeze thing?
That's a good question. Some of them do, some of them don't. As you can see, turn planning cost under Crash, that's going to be how much of the turn meter that it takes up.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to just set up how I had it before because it works. This is like just like a long range projectile that does really high damage early on in the game.
So what's the mem going on in that left-hand side? Is that like the amount of stuff you can have equipped?
Yeah, so you see right here, this is 1, 3, 2, the little indicators on the left corner.
Yeah.
That's the amount of memory slots that it takes up on the 6 out of 16 that you see. So I can use up to 16 memory in my current build, and as you level up, you'll gain more memory and more of these slots. So you'll see, like, you can get up to 2 upgrade slots per active slot.
Mm-hmm.
And then also on the left and right side, you see those locked. Those are for passive abilities, which do, like, any of these functions can fit into any of these slots and do any of these things.
Okay.
So later on in the game, like, let's just continue on so we can unlock that stuff.
Yeah.
And here we're going to see how Red has a little bit more agency as a character instead of just, the kid does the thing.
5 blocks down. Take the second right.
And this is also a good setup for the game.
You turn left.
This game is really pretty, by the way.
Oh yeah,
We're going back there.
that's one of those hitches I was talking about.
Yeah.
You met these things. They do not have a sense of humor. They will track you down, wipe you out, and take whatever's left of me back to those 2-bit Camerata pieces of trash. Look, whatever you're thinking, do me a favor. Don't let me go.
So that's effectively what's happening within the story. Red wants to go and find the Camerata, the people that tried to kill her.
Okay.
And there's more that goes on with that,
More blocks to this.
but I will not spoil any of that. As I'm just roaming around, ooh, slow down. I feel like
Oh, excuse me. I've needed to sneeze for the past 2 minutes there.
that's all right. I feel like a lot of this might have something to do with XSplit. So just know, it's not indicative of the actual game.
So how much of the actual game have you played so far?
I beat it. I've
beat it, okay.
Yes, and I've started New Game Plus. This is not the New Game Plus file. This is a new file.
So is there a chapter select, or is it you had to start a new game to get here?
No, at any time I can just go in here and do a new profile and go
Okay.
back to. At the
But
end,
there's no you wouldn't at this point you wouldn't be able to go back to that last area through any kind of screen or anything.
no, it's very linear, and you won't be going back to different places. So as you can see right there, over time, enemies will upgrade, and
Okay.
they'll get harder. And so originally these guys had 1 beam, now they have 3 beams, and it hurts. So I want to take this guy out as quickly as I possibly can. Let's undo that. If you hold down on the button, you can indicate where you want it to go.
Okay.
But you see this line right here, and where it ends, that's the length that this attack is effective.
Okay.
This is the crash attack. So I'll do that, and you can see this one has a longer length to it.
Yeah.
So different abilities. Whoops, that's not the one. Different abilities can do different things.
Now, how does leveling up come into play? Is there any quest system with experience, or is it all just combat based?
It's all combat based.
Okay. Are there any quests or anything like that, or is it just?
It's just the story.
Stronger than
Okay.
the last ones.
All right. So let's actually. Now let's undo that. So I'm gonna use this thing that can hit all 3 of those at once.
Before they can hatch into creeps.
No, they're already creeps.
Okay.
They're bad cells, which are just annoying little jerks that'll hit you for a couple damage.
Okay, so those aren't the cell types that'll transform.
No.
Okay.
Bad cells are just bad.
Gotcha.
And so I'm out of movesets, so I'll just do that. It feels really good to just clear out an entire room.
Yeah.
And I'll just clean these guys up.
They were waiting.
Alright, so you see right here, this is the level up system. You get it from
Okay.
experience, and the more you level up, the more moves you unlock. There are little side things that you can do. This is one of them. I won't do that one because it'll start a combat scenario that I don't want to get into.
Fertile ground.
These little access points are important. They're the only places that you can change out your functions.
Okay.
And another thing that functions do, and we'll learn more about that as we go on, I have planned out a very good chunk of this game that will leave you salivating for more. So this inspect function, if I press the...
Short list. More than just a name to
press the triangle button, it will pull up the.
Lillian Platt used to run the OVC. Said she left for personal reasons.
It'll pull up the biography of the person that function is essentially. The function, as it says right there, function is derived from contact with the subject. So essentially, this is the essence of Lillian Platt.
Okay.
And so by using it in one of the 3 slots active, that being, active, upgrade, or passive on the left and right, it will unlock more of the biography of this person, and that fills in more of the world of Cloud Bank that you live in.
So before I just kind of like let you start running, after I stop asking questions, I just have 1 or 2 more, and then we can just run through this section that you want to show us. But so like with all that biography stuff and everything, how do you feel like the writing and the story is in this game?
At first, I was a little apprehensive about the writing. Like, it is very. I might have gotten myself into a bit of a pickle. These little guys, they're called wells, I think, and they heal other enemies.
Okay.
And these packets are just giant explosives. So if I just hit those, I can take out all of these guys, no problem, and I'll just jaunt my way out of there.
Guess what's inside?
There we go.
Back for more.
Oh, it didn't. Okay.
You're up.
So the writing is or the story itself, a lot of the game is obtuse with a purpose. Like, it doesn't tell you what to think or what to do. It very much wants you to figure it out.
Okay.
Oof. Including like basic combat, like the things that I'm doing. Some of them I didn't learn until I was like a quarter of the way through the game.
Okay.
Let me do that. Actually, it would be beneficial to do that. And then that. So whenever I do damage, sometimes there are things that that the damage indicator doesn't predict. Like, if that character... So the reason why that character died, even though it wasn't technically supposed to, it was supposed to have 32 life left, was because he got turned around and more than one of my attacks became backstabs.
All quiet.
So one more battle and I'll level up and show that off. At any time
So
you
is-
can do this
sorry,
little
go ahead.
flourish move. It's useless, but it's a good animation.
So is Red a completely silent protagonist?
Yes, she has lost her voice.
Channel and record time.
Okay.
Yeah, but she is a notable singer in this world who lost her voice.
Well, yeah, I was about to say that's not very good if she's lost her voice and she's a notable singer, though.
Yeah. Oh, and then at any time you can just hum. And it fits the mood music really well that just plays throughout the level.
Yeah, one of my initial impressions upon seeing a couple different people play like bits and pieces of this game, was I really want the soundtrack.
It's a great soundtrack. It is.
Because I still to this day listen to the Bastion soundtrack like a couple times a week.
Yeah. We are going to end this crash test in what might be my favorite place of music. So be ready for that.
So what you're saying is this game really front loads all the good stuff and then
No,
it's just
no.
all downhill from there.
No, it's very good throughout, and like I was saying about the writing, like it seems obtuse at first, and I wasn't really on board. But the more I played it, and the more I thought about like the themes and everything that the game was doing, I actually ended up like really, really appreciating a lot of the stuff that this game does.
Okay. So, do the environments vary, or does it kind of keep this same? I mean, I'm not saying this look is bad or anything. I really like this art style and like the environment, but will they like switch it up a little bit?
A little. So that's like story based, so I won't say the reason, but there are like different locations and stuff, but you are in Cloud Bank the entire time.
Okay. So we just leveled up.
Yes. So at this point, I can choose between two different functions. One is an explosive, the other is a charm. I really like the explosive, but
So if
the
you
charm is
choose-
also pretty good.
If you choose the explosive, will you be locked out of the charm, or will you be able to like choose the charm at level 4?
At a different level, yeah. It staggers them sometimes. Like I don't think I got charm until like level 6. Maybe because I kept like skipping it. But there was between level 1 and 2, there was a function that is not present here, so it staggers them at certain points.
And then once you hit like, have you hit max level in your first playthrough?
No, you cannot hit max level in your first playthrough.
Okay, but do you know? So like on New Game Plus, by the time like, say you get to max level, could you see getting all the functions, or would you still be locked out of some?
You will get all of the
Get
functions.
jumped.
As far as I know, like it was said that there are 16, and I got 16 at the end of the game.
Okay.
But so there are various places where just things are just able to be looked at,
Wish we could just sit and watch the world go by.
and the transistor will say a little thing.
I always just am so like soothed when he talks.
Yeah.
Got some kind of cheerleader this time.
So that's another thing that's cool. The transistor names the enemies. So that guy that he just called cheerleader becomes the cheerleader type enemy type.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I really appreciate.
And so I'm assuming the cheerleader is a like support kind of guy,
Yes,
because it
for
looks like he's firing a shield at that creep.
that is exactly what he's doing. But I'm gonna breach that packet, and he's gonna be wrecked. Aw, that didn't go as planned. So I'm just gonna and do that, and let's get out of here because he will immediately start firing at me.
Skedaddle.
And I'll do that. I'll do that.
Now to mop up.
Ooh, those beams. Where I'm at in the game, those beams hurt.
Yeah.
They hurt real bad. New Game Plus is very challenging. By the end of this game, it gets incredibly challenging. And your processes, or how you use your functions in this turn mode, are incredibly important.
Okay.
So you see,
So-
the other thing is I can't just get away because I have to collect that cell.
Okay.
Or else I'll just...
So we saw a glimpse of the first kind of boss battle, I guess, of the game. But how do you feel like the rest of the boss battles kind of scale? Like, do they feel challenging and rewarding in the tactical sense, or is it kind of just jumping around?
There aren't that many like boss battles. Like essentially, those just become like
I guess we're done.
different enemy types that you'll encounter in different
Okay.
scenarios. But it presents itself as a boss battle, and where we're going to end presents itself as a boss battle.
Okay.
But there
Hope you're wearing
there aren't like bosses in the traditional sense, except for like 2 or 3 that I can
Gotcha.
remember.
Here we are.
Ooh, this is a very pretty environment.
Yes. So we're going to the set, which is her old theater where she would sing.
Okay.
Unless you count him.
So this dead guy right here is how I'm going to get a new process.
What was that like weird ghost thing?
I think it's just other players.
Oh really?
I'm almost positive it's other players.
Huh.
He says the process wiped him out. He's too far gone.
There are a bunch of different jargon things. So I just collected his essence, his function, essentially. And
So you didn't have to level up to get that function?
no. You'll find those scattered throughout. These little beam things that pop up, those are just like really great cover, but also have a very cool story presence.
Okay.
So that's interesting. Gonna hit that guy.
Do you usually try to wipe out all the small guys before going to the big guys?
I definitely want to hit these weeds first, because they'll heal. The cheerleader will shield, the weeds will heal.
Okay.
So I want to get those out of the way first.
So they'll heal other enemies, not just themselves?
They can't heal themselves, because your base attack is powerful enough to take them out. But if, for instance, there was a weed next to a weed, I don't see why not. Why it
Can
wouldn't be able to heal
cheerleaders shield other cheerleaders, or do they just go for like the biggest in the group of them?
I think it just goes to whoever's in the line of sight.
Okay.
That's weird. It wasn't giving me any damage indicator there. Another slowdown. That's just the PC version as far as I can tell.
Okay.
People haven't said anything about the PS4 version being like that. And they've released like 2 or 3 patches since
Okay, it's on.
since this game came out last night.
So is it just PS4 and PC, or is it others also?
It's just PS4 and PC,
Okay.
and it looks great. So this enemy, as soon as I hit her, whoops, I can't do that. As soon as I hit her, she'll disappear. So I can chain up enough attacks to like basically kill her, but as soon as the first one hits, she vanishes and goes to a different place.
Okay.
And so,
Can you predict where she's gonna go, or
absolutely
is it
not. It's really random, and anytime that I've tried, like I can maybe just put that down, that down, that down, and maybe one up there. Hope that it hits her again. Alright, that didn't hit her again. So you essentially just want to do like a really strong attack from behind.
Get that backstab bonus?
Yeah.
Still kicking, huh?
And then she'll spawn like these 2 little ghosts, people that hurt you as well.
Okay.
It sucks. Screw it. Alright, that time it worked.
Nice.
And then as soon as she dies, she just spawns a whole bunch of cells.
Look at him go.
And those just turn into bad cells.
Yeah, because they only have like 2-second respawn time.
Oh, so the longer the respawn time on a cell, the like stronger the enemy will come back.
No, it's just like the enemy that that the cell was beforehand. That's what they'll respawn as.
Or just dump a bunch of bad cells.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I'm not gonna mess with that anymore. I think I'm good. And we're almost towards the end of this crash test.
Alright.
I think this game is beautiful.
Gotta be a leader.
If you die, that's a thing that I'll probably show off in the boss battle that we will not complete. So there are these OVC terminals, and they give you a little flavor around the city. So this one is about a showdown between Red and Facsimile, like who will be the champion singer or whatever. I vote for Facsimile because why would you vote for yourself?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because the people of Cloud Bank said, no, it's red.
Everything's coming up red.
Yeah. And we're about to find out why. I love this game. This game's so pretty. The combat is so satisfying once you get it down.
Are we about to fight Facsimile?
First saw
No.
you up on that stage back there, it was like,
Essentially, you remember that cutscene at the beginning that we saw, where it was like the Camerata?
Yeah.
This explains more of the Camerata backstory.
Okay.
Whoops, gotta hold it. And again, this is stuff that was in the first trailer, and also there's so much more.
Okay.
It's about 6.5 hours.
When you speak, I hear silence. Every word a defiance. I can hear, oh, I can hear. Think I'll go where it suits me. Moving now to the country with everyone, oh everyone. Before we all become
what? Where? Where are you?
Are you controlling it?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Where are you? Hey. That you? Oh. Look at you. You're alive. Me, I'm not so sure. Could use your help.
You just sticking out of
I know
somebody?
this looks bad.
Yeah. This is the person, like, in that cutscene you saw
Just
what
take your
happened.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm going to switch to my New Game Plus, and you can see how crazy this game can get.
Okay.
I don't know if that cut out
She's here.
your feed. Let me...
Yeah.
It kept, like, the profile resolution. That's crazy. Also, there aren't very many resolutions. Alright, here we go. So this is the same boss battle that was about to happen, but in New Game Plus.
Hello
Okay.
again.
And this is how we'll end this.
You.
So as you can see, like, I've kept a lot of the same the same functions.
Yeah, but you have a lot of additions there.
Yes. So I'm just gonna backstab, combo, call.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Come on, hit it. Yes.
Wow, that was a fast boss battle.
I don't think that she's dead.
She's back.
Oh, okay. Oh, she has more health.
So this
Okay.
is one of my passive abilities. That is just like really overpowered.
It. Wow. Just kill.
Oh, it didn't work. Yeah, with that ability, comes, I think a bit later in the game. So, ah, damn. So you see, I wasn't really paying attention to what was happening and didn't realize that she moved out of the way. So let me just run up to her and actually, there.
Almost got her.
Nope. And she'll heal, and that sucks. So let's run in here, backstab the call.
Got her.
I think it's rule of threes, I can't be sure.
Sybil.
So, you see, even though I have like a tiny little sliver left, because I haven't finished it, even though Cull takes up a large chunk, I can do 2 Culls in a row.
Huh.
But because it's shifted, I think it does less damage on the second one, but it doesn't matter, that's still a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And it didn't hurt her the second time because she was too high in the air. I should probably take care of those weeds.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
Oh, that cheerleader is...
Yeah.
Whoops. Let me just call. No. Call. There. Ah, damn it. I forgot. There's a lot of crap in this. Because the weeds are stronger, they respawn a weed once you kill a weed.
Okay.
So that's what happens whenever you die. Your highest, like the most battery usage active slot gets overloaded.
Okay.
And you lose it, and you get all of your health back, but you can't use that really heavy attack.
So is that just until the combat scenario is over?
No, it's until two access points after.
She's finished.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a challenge. So let me
What now?
just kill
Bye,
her.
Sybil. Hello again, Sybil.
So you just collect her essence, just like whatever.
I want you to tell us where they are. Do you understand?
Yay, that was a lot of XP. So I've already unlocked these.
Mm-hmm.
But I can unlock them again,
Okay.
and therefore double up.
Hmm.
So let me unlock this charm, and get to an access point. This is the other thing that I didn't talk about and knew was going to come up. Limiters. You remember the idols in Bastion?
Uh-huh.
It's like those. Exactly
Okay.
like those. They just make things super hard.
The process will be waiting for us.
Let me get to the nearest access point and I can show you how many limiters you can put on. So you see, that's still broken until I get to one more access point. But in the meantime, I can throw on Charm, and then throw on another Charm, and so it does damage and charms them. That doesn't seem very effective. So I'm assuming that I can just like double up on stuff. Like you see, I have Crash in both a passive and active slot, and this does life regen outside of combat.
Okay.
Or not outside of combat, outside of turn, like the frozen time stuff.
Yeah.
So I can. That's also ineffective. I shouldn't do that. Anyway, so yeah, I can just load up a whole bunch of crap, and doesn't even matter.
Hey.
Oh right, limiters. Hit R2. Here's all the limiters. I've unlocked all the limiters in the game apparently, so I'll just turn all those on. And I get a 32% level bonus, but that also means I get more enemies. Functions will overload whenever I uninstall them, meaning that I would need 2 more access points to then reload them again.
Okay.
Whenever they die, they spawn those bad cells. Functions will only recover once per access point, so if I unload all of my functions, which I've done multiple times, they would be useless and I would die. And I have to turn off all of these. No longer automatically activate turn at low health. There's a chance that whenever you die, instead of overloading one of your skills, you'll go into an emergency turn.
Okay.
Lose access to 6 memory or more. Shielded cells strike twice as much. Twin cells when they die. That's just a whole bunch of crap. Oh man, we should get into a battle and see how terrible that is. But I won't, because this starts another story thing, and I don't want to spoil anymore.
All right.
So,
well,
that's
thank you
Transistor.
very much for showing me Transistor, Mr. Prentice.
You're welcome. I hope that a lot of people play this. Maybe play the PS4 version, but it's not terrible on the PC by any measure.
The
Cool.
indie set. It's close for good, isn't it?
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, Mr. Prentice.